So I was feeling sad today. And you know what you do when you're sad? You take a shower. And then you put on unreasonably fancy dress. And some earrings. An old lady was selling them. And I was like, oh well. They're not that ugly. And they're pink. So, essentially pink is nice. That's why I decided to buy them. I'm not even drunk today. And there is this group called Marble Sound. And they have this song called If You Stay Then I Can't Go. Which is nice and relatable. And now I look like a mess with wet hair. But oh well, we're just gonna put on some red lipstick because I don't know why. I'm sad and life is sad. Yes. But I don't have a mirror. I don't have a mirror. We're gonna do it in the camera. And along with not having a mirror, I'm also blind. So I don't really see it in the camera as well. I just wipe. Yeah. I think it looks fine. Or it doesn't. I don't know. So for today's mess of a video, I decided to sit in this armchair. We had it for a long time. It was my grandfather's actually. Cool dude. He was a writer. He used to tell me I would become a writer as well. Oh well, I didn't. I just became a mess. And today, what we're going to do is draw. But not on my face, on the paper. You might have noticed that my room is filled with questionable paintings, because sometimes I tend to think that I am a painter, which quite frankly I'm not. But sometimes I like to pretend, you know. And we're gonna talk about love, because love is a nice thing to talk about. I always wanted to know what people talk about when they're talking about love. There is a book actually, book of short stories called literally What Do We Talk About When We're Talking About Love. I always wanted to read it, but currently I'm just balancing my camera on it, because that's how life is sometimes. My favorite color is purple, and I used to love this boy who would give me anything that he found and was purple. It was very nice. So today I was listening to this song called First Loves, and I remembered mine, which was a hard thing to remember, because what is the first love? Like, what do you call the first love? The first person that you fall in love with and they fall in love with you too? Or the first boy or girl you see in your class when you're 6 and you just can't think of anything else because they are so pretty and they know how to draw and read perfectly. Is that love? Or is the love when you're 15 and you look at this person and you can't see the world because all you can see is them. And they treat you like shit, and then you end up drinking with your friends in the streets when your mother is deadly worried about you. Is that love? Or is that not love? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know what love is generally. I don't know what anything is, but love specifically. I always had the hard times with defining love. Because like, sure, at that time when I was 6, and I was looking at this boy who was absolutely perfect, and we danced together in this school play that we did. Yes, I felt love. Yes, I felt love. That was love for a 6-year-old Anna. She would just look at him, and her heart would drop, and she would forget her name, and she would not care about anything anymore. And at that time, that felt like love. And then I grew up a bit, and then my teacher decided to assign me a seat next to this amazing person who would not treat me like shit. And then I fell in love with him. And then I transferred schools, and I saw this amazing boy who was singing one of my favorite songs. And I was like, damn, this is what love is like. Listening to the same songs, right? That's how 13-year-old Anna would define love. That I was 14. Naturally, right? After you're 13, you turn 14. In the best case scenario, if we say so. Yeah, I turned 14, and I just, this guy started texting me randomly, and then he called me. And I was like, why are you calling me? And he was like, let's talk about films. And I was like, okay. And he seemed to really enjoy films. He was like, you have to watch this film called I'm not gonna say what. And I was like, sure, I will do that. Like, at that time, I didn't care about him. Why would I watch something that someone asked me to if I don't love him, right? That just doesn't make any sense. So I didn't. And exactly 2 hours pass, and then he calls me again and goes like, did you watch the film? I was like, no, sorry, I was helping my mom. He was so upset. Did I upset you? Was it me, like this person who didn't watch the film that you recommended? Did that upset you? Like, why, right? Because I was dumb and I couldn't figure out how life worked at that time. Not implying that I can now, because I frankly can't, but whatever. Yeah, then he made me watch that film. But you know what he did? He stayed on the call. The Skype was the big thing back then in 2014, and we just shared the screen via Skype, and we just watched the film together. I hated it. It was about some dudes and killing and robbery and shit, arsony or something, whatever, the shit that boys watch, right? I hated it, and I was like, ew. But I understood it, because as much as I am not someone who is like someone who knows shit, I kind of tend to understand stuff, because I'm kind of not dumb in a sense, or I might be, I don't know. Whatever, I understood it, right? And he was so shocked, because in this society he was taught and brought up to believe that women and girls can't really understand things that boys can, in the sense of like the killing and the violence and shit. And I was like, why, right? I'm a human being, I understand stuff. And he was so charmed by it. He was literally shocked, and I was like, okay, whatever. I at that time liked his friend, which he quite frankly was not very happy about. And then he would call and text, and he would get mad when I would start talking about other boys. He would get mad when I would go like to sleep or something, he would text me shit like, I don't know, I just got out of the bed for you because I love sleep, but I like you better. But it was in a sense of friendship. I never perceived it something as not friendship. But I was like, sure, this good friend that I have, that quite frankly likes me, but I'm not gonna acknowledge that because I'm too self-conscious, because no, like, I was perceived as ugly. I don't know, whatever. And then this lovely person invites me to the movie because he was once again obsessed with films. And we went to the movie. And then he goes like this very romantic gesture. He goes like in my ear, Anna, everybody knows about us. Let's make it official. It's like, what? Sorry? Like, what? Official? What? Like, huh? What is official? And I was like, I was very confused. But I was like, sure. But I don't know. I was like, sure. And then I left the town, left the city for 9 days. Why I do remember this in specific details, but I left the city for 9 days, right? And he would call and we would talk. We would talk about films and his life, his family, and his issues, which I had no idea that he had any. We would talk about how he loved stuff, and then just randomly he goes like, I like camping. And at that time, me being 14-year-old Tumblr edgy emo girl, I adored camping. I wanted to have a van and just go live in the nature because I don't know, I perceived life like that. And I was like, this person likes camping. My boyfriend, like my actual boyfriend, likes camping. And then we would talk about how we would go to these campsites and what we would do, how we would pick strawberries and raspberries and then just stare at the sky and look at the, I don't know, nature and be happy. And at that time I felt love. Yeah, that was love. Like, I felt that love in those specific moments. And you know, like, I remember the specific phrase that this person said. He's not gonna watch my videos, and obviously he's not gonna know I'm talking about him, but whatever. So he goes like, he was 15 at the time, so Anna, you know what love is? He asks me, and I was like, yes. Love is something that I have not experienced in 15 years, and am experiencing right now. Mind you, I'm 14 and dumb. That was it for me. I was ready to get married to him. Then nothing worked out, obviously, because we were 15. So yeah, I should have done this a long time ago, but oh well. That for me, that back then, that was the truest form of love I have ever experienced. But was it superior to any other loves that I've experienced in my previous life? I don't think so. It just, whenever we fall in love with the other person, we always tend to think that this love is the true one, and this one is the one that is going to last, and the one that we are going to be in love with forever, and all that stuff. But that's what we thought in the previous relationship as well. And then comes the other topic. Does this disregard the loves that we had in our previous life? Like, does it make any other love less valid if we perceive the current one as the superior to them? No, I don't think so. It's just the action, the thrill, the currentness, if that is a word, of the emotion that makes it appear superior to any other thing that we've ever felt before, be it love or pain or anything else. And I struggled with it quite a bit because essentially there came time in my life when I was not in love with anyone else, not in love with anyone, like no one at all. And then I would think, oh, like, was I ever truly in love? Was that love? Was the feeling that I experienced when I was 15 or 6 the love? Was that it? And if it was that, why did I perceive my last love as the truest one of them all? And I would go nuts because for the love of God, I don't want to live my life without knowing that I've loved my fair share of people. And I would go nuts because I would think that I haven't loved anyone. There was this point in my life where I would just say that I haven't loved anyone. And I walked around, and it's April. April is my favorite month because I always fall in love in April. That's just a coincidence that happens. Is it a coincidence? I don't know. Maybe I have this mental idea of falling in love in April, which happens all the time, every April. So I walked around and I was so sad because I didn't see anyone. Like, the streets were empty and my heart too. And I wanted to fall in love, but I just couldn't find with whom to do that. So I hope you somewhat moderately enjoyed this mess of a talk that I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing. And the transition of my hair from being wet to becoming dry.